Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, I'm excited to talk about the new Figma Config 2025 and its updates. If you've noticed the new changes in Figma, you know there are some cool features and handy tools that have been added. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the new grid features. So, let's get started. One of the most exciting updates is the advanced grid feature. This feature lets you create custom grids quickly. You can add, adjust, and change grid elements with ease. Let me show you just how simple it is. First, I create a frame. Then, I move to the layout section. Figma has given the layout selection a fresh new look. This is still the same auto layout, but now it's visually more intuitive. The first option is freeform. The second is auto layout, vertical stacking. The third is horizontal stacking. And the fourth one is grids. Now, I add the grid to the frame. Here, you can select the number of grids you want, just like that. Of course, you can also adjust the gap between them and even add padding. Now, let's add some elements to the grid. I have some images here. First, let's create a 4x3 grid. And then select the image. I drag it into the grid like this. The image automatically adapts to the grid size. Now, I add a gap of 20 px between the grids. Let's also add padding of around 20 px for better spacing. What's even better, you can adjust each grid by dragging it or by directly entering the width. This update gives you complete control over your design layout, allowing you to build complex grids effortlessly. Plus, this grid is fully responsive. If you need to add another grid, just change the row or column number here, like this. That's it. Now, you can easily add images or other elements as needed. Alright, let's design a simple hero section using grids. First, I'll move this grid aside. I create a new frame and add a grid. This time, a 2x1 grid, yep, just like that. Next, I'll add an image, just drag and drop it right here. The image automatically adjusts to fit the grid, making the process effortless. Now, let's add some copy to this hero section. I've already prepared it, and I'll add some buttons to complete the layout. Alright, now it's time to refine the design. First, I'll add padding of around 60 pixels, both vertically and horizontally. Let's adjust the height to 800 pixels. I'll tweak the spacing between the text and buttons, making sure everything looks balanced. A few adjustments, and there we go. Now, let's create another frame and set up a vertical layout. I've already built a navbar, so I just drag it into the frame. I'll also bring in the hero section and gallery section. Keeping the padding consistent with the hero section. Next, I duplicate the hero section. Now, you can edit or customize this version however you like, and that's it. You can easily create multiple sections like this, quickly and intuitively. The best part, this method lets you build layouts that flow both horizontally and vertically, making it simple to create responsive designs, like galleries or bento boxes, that adjust seamlessly across different screen sizes. And for developers, generating clean CSS code in dev mode just got even easier. That's it for today. Hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one.